Inter worldwide. Sorry for the slight lack of content. The games just turn around too quickly, but a lot's happened in Serie A since the last time I did a final word, so goes without saying that it's got to happen. The last one I did was at the end of the Juventus victory, and since then we've played 3 more fixtures. We had a disappointing 0-0 draw against Udinese, which did set us back and lead some of the fans to believe, shit, we've just drawn to Udinese. And it wasn't a good showing, but, we picked up a comfortable 4-0 rout against Benevento. And then we come up against Fiorentina. And contrasting what ESPN UK, the retards, have to say, it was actually quite a comfortable performance. Don't watch their analysis. They'll tell you that Inter sucked and they actually had a bad game and they looked like they were on the receiving end. They copped an absolute whopping for it on all of their platforms for saying it, to be honest. So it's not like I need to give them any extra grief here. So what's changed in Serie A over the last 3 match days? Well, to be honest, Genoa are no longer the worst team that has consistently been in Serie A performing at the moment. That prize still goes to, well, no, that's changed as well. So after, giving a lot to Genoa and your Fiorentinas throughout the season, Fiorentina still very, very much underperforming. But, as we go through these results now, I think we'll start to see a little bit more some of the teams that are going to be able to stay above water. And it really only takes a couple of results when you're at the bottom of the ladder, but it's so compact and close in every region of the table via match day 31. The title race is a 3-way race. The Champions League goes from position 4 to position 7. We don't know who's going to get it there. And then the Europa League, there still might be a chance for Sassuolo or Verona to nick that. It's going to be brutal come the end of the season. It's going to be a bloodbath. And the only thing that's saving me from the anxiety of thinking that we might not win the Scudetto is if we're panicking, imagine you're one of the 3 sides fighting for relegation this season. This is the type of season where if you take the drop, holy crap, the chances of your club folding, because mentally Italian teams struggle to recover from shit like this. Mentally Italian teams, when they get setbacks financially, they don't do very well. Take it, Trapani, for example, a place where I'm from in Italy, or where my parents and grandparents are from, not necessarily me, but they were on this trajectory of performing so well on the pitch and gathering a good fan base through their online store, merchandise, ticket sales, and then, like in true Sicilian fashion, they go bust. They were like 1 game away from Serie B qualification. Not Serie B qualification, they were actually playing Serie B and were performing really well. And I feel like a few of these sides are actually going to hit that sort of trajectory of so many clubs that have gone down and then struggled. And all I can think of are the clubs that I support from Sicily. Being from all around Sicily, I always keep a close eye on Palermo, mostly Catania. I love Catania. That's where I really consider myself from because my grandparents on my dad's side were from there. But having a look at the way some of these Serie A sides are performing, and we'll go through them, I reckon there's a red light flashing and a red flag going off for a lot of these sides. So enough me just talking subjectively about what I think. Let's go to the actual results of the weekend. And let's start at an absolute shit fight between Atalanta and Torino in Bergamo. Fantastic goals. Go and check him out. Federico Bonazzoli, who I didn't even know played for Torino. I thought he was still at Sampdoria. Scores a goal with 6 minutes to go after Atalanta lead 3-0. Torino make it 3-3. They've been the worst team when it comes to conceding late goals this season. And here they are scoring 3 in Bergamo. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. Torino sits 17th. 16 points from 21 games. Yuck. What a putrid season they're having, man. They deserve to go down. The only reason I want them to stay up is because I don't want Juventus fans to feel any sort of satisfaction. And if they get a kick out of Torino going down, keep them up, I say. Even though, Turin is not my favourite city. Next result, please. Oh, wait, Atalanta, 7th. Look, I said at the start of the season, they're not going to make Champions League again. They're just too inconsistent. Are they good enough to make the Champions League? 100%. They're still good enough to go on a run and challenge, in my opinion. But you're starting to see the cracks. The Papu Gomez incident was bad. It was bad, bruv. Because now Gasperini has shown that, he doesn't have the full 100% backing of the dressing room. I think it's only a matter of time before some of the leaders in that dressing room are no longer at the club, whether it's this season, next season, or the season after. As soon as a couple of those players from Gasperini's core leave, Atalanta, I have faith in their owner. Maybe they'll just keep doing well. They've never been in a better position to continue the off-field and on-field success of their club. Next result, please. We are going to Sassuolo 1, Spezia 2. One of my favorite match day results. Oh man, Ciccio Caputo, once again, on form. Opens the scoring nice and early. But Spezia, with 100% what's got to be their biggest 3 points of the season. They've got 5 wins, 21 points. You can go back and watch my first final word or the second or third one, and I was looking at Spezia going, bruh, this is good. This team attacks pretty well. A Serie B side who really weren't allowed to make many signings. I think they actually made the lowest amount of signings by Crotone. So, I think their coach is in the running for, most underrated coach, in my opinion. And some of you might say, oh, what are you talking about, bro? They're 16th in the league. Sorry, not 16th. They're 15th in the league. But, I don't know, just when I look at their squad, and I realize that they really don't have that much at all besides a decent system that these players are looking forward to. I'm all in for Spezia staying up this season, and I really hope they do. Sassuolo, as many people have said, and as I've said before, they were always going to plateau. They're actually winless in their last 5, which is their worst form in a season and a half, if I'm not mistaken. So the wheels might be falling off for De Zerbi and his players in terms of looking for a European spot this season, which has to be the goal if you're Sassuolo, right? You have to be wanting to make the Europa League minimum. Or else what are you doing there? You've had enough seasons, to sit there and say, we're not whipping boys, we're a top half of the table team when we want to be. So at the end of the day, you need to show that. Besides Ciccio Caputo and Domenico Berardi, they've still got a lot of decent players. I mean, Manuel Locatelli is still one of the most sought after midfielders in the league, and rightfully so. He's a really good player. I truly hope Inter do sign Locatelli, but I don't think that we will, bro. Next results. Which one should we talk about next? I want to leave that one till last. All right, why not? Man, Parma got their asses absolutely handed to them away by Bologna. And in my opinion, that's embarrassing as well, because Bologna are your perfect mid-table club this season. But Parma, I know they had a lot of off-field issues and shit. They've got the least amount of wins in the league, tied at 2 with Torino. I'll just say that again. Torino and Parma have the 2 worst winning records in the league with 2 wins apiece. Both sides are winless in... It's embarrassing, bro. It's honestly embarrassing. Orsolini grabbed another goal. Good player. Let us know below if you wouldn't mind seeing Orsolini come over. Not too sure he's good enough. But Moussa Barrow, he absolutely shined for Bologna. His first goal where he nicks it in off the header, that was a fantastic goal. That was a fantastic goal. I spent a lot of time watching the goals and watching the Serie A this weekend while I was away. The next result is time to talk about, and I think I mentioned a couple of weeks ago how I thought it was bullshit that Napoli were considering sacking Gattuso. They must know something behind the scenes that we fans don't, because that performance against Genoa was the performance of a Napoli side under a manager that was looking to get the boot. However, with a game in hand, they're still only 3 points away from the top 4. You can't be going and sacking your manager while the opportunity is still there for him to redeem himself, unless he's lost the locker room. And I don't think we've heard anything about Gattuso losing the locker room. So, yeah. Can you believe the resurgence of Genoa? I have been bagging this team out every week for the last year and a half, and rightfully so. They are shit. I was convinced they'd be relegated this season. There is literally 2 reasons why Genoa are not going to get relegated. The first one is Davide Balladini, who has just become there as their manager, once again, former Cesena player. But the other reason is treble winner, future king and president of Macedonia, if he's not already, Goran Pandev. The bloke scored twice in the opening 30 minutes and he's still playing. I was about to message one of my Inter fans the other day and go, bro, for a free transfer, would you take Goran Pandev back? And I just thought, no, you sound like an absolute idiot right now. Anyway, Genoa are up to 24 competition points and in 12th position on the ladder, where they've been occupying anywhere south of 17th for most of the season. They might actually survive this because with their form, like they've got 4 wins in 5 games. They got 13 out of the last 15 points. Literally, before this coach was there, they were almost a shoo-in for relegation. But big up to them. You absolutely can't not give it to them. Next game, though, that I want to talk about, and let me know once again in the comments below what you think about Pippo Inzaghi, because Benevento, they're still around, man. They're still around. And they're 1-1 draw with Sampdoria, which, by the way, 2 talking points for us and the Sampdoria game. Their draw actually meant that they've equaled the amount of competition points that they would need and the amount of games played for Antonio Candreva to redeem at 2.5 million. So that's it. It's official. Antonio Candreva will never ever play in Inter again in case there was that last 1 or 2% chance he could be coming back because he wasn't redeemed. Not going to happen. Grazie, Antonio. You might have wrongly been on the receiving end of a lot of criticism, but yeah, at the end of the day, I'm still glad I got your jersey, to be honest. The other talking point is Keita Balde netted the other goal, former Inter player again, but not enough for Sampdoria to grab the 3 points because another informed attacker in the league, Gianluca Caprari, netted a goal for Genoa, for Benevento as well. Now with Benevento, I love checking the ladder and seeing them in a healthy position. 14th place, they're not safe yet, nowhere near it, but 8 points plus on the relegation zone. However, only 2 points out of their last 15. They have lost 3 of their last 5. They need to beat the teams below them or draw against the teams below them in order to stay in. Really nice to see Inzaghi and Ranieri shake on the sidelines. If there's one thing I've enjoyed this season in Serie A, I reckon we've got one of the most exciting pools of managers in the world, especially if you've been a culture fan for a long time. I've been a culture fan my whole life, and to see all these managers that I know so well, it's really heartwarming. And then you see them hugging and, you know, being all gay and shit on the sideline. It's brilliant. Tori Grosso was denied early on. He's in great form. I hope Sampdoria redeem him. I don't think he was a permanent transfer from Brescia. Quote me if I'm wrong. Pardon me. But I think he's only on loan. And if that's the case, then I think Sampdoria will be going for a renewal, though. They dominated the first half, though. I'll give him that much. I remember just watching them with the ball and I'm thinking, shit, how is it that they're not up yet? Yeah, even Balde had this amazing shot turned away in the first half. And he's looking alright. I like seeing him do well. Let us know in the comments below what you think about seeing Keita Balde back in Serie A. Like, if Sampdoria redeemed him full time, I'd be happy for the guy. And I know he'd always love playing against Inter. Because he loved our club. If it was up, he really wanted to be renewed. I know that for a fact. He came out and said it. And we didn't renew him. It wasn't going to happen. I'm not too sure why. Probably because of his disciplinary reasons. I mean, that last tug on the shirt against Empoli, that really scarred us for life, man. It really didn't need to happen. But good on Gianluca Caprari as well, grabbing another goal, because he's an absolute gem for Genoa this season as well. All right, time to get to a couple of the more juicy results. And I've been speaking a lot about things that have not changed, but, oh shit, I've got a couple of more minnow results to go through before I get to that one. Udinese 2, Verona 0. The only game of the match, the only game on Matchday 21 that I didn't watch anything extended, just the goals. Probably rightfully so. It was zip up until the 83rd minute, and Marco Silvestri had an own goal, which sucks because that's a horrible way to break down the run of play. But then after that, it was pretty much smooth sailing for Udinese in the last 6 minutes of the game. You know, it's a disaster to drop points like that for Verona, because they have been a good team this season. They really have. And if I'm not mistaken, I can't remember off the top of my head, I actually think it might have been Delafeu who grabbed the last goal as well. I'm trying to remember. No, I can't remember. I'm so sorry. I've got that one wrong probably. Anyway, Udinese, on the other hand, was another thing that's changed, because they've been flirting with the bottom this season, and after grabbing 8 points of their last 15, they actually sit in 11th position. So they're doing pretty well at the moment, and they'll stay up as well. You're starting to see the clear separation of teams who might actually go down. Next result. I'm a bit of a vindictive human being, because as soon, Cagliari, man. Honestly, Nainggolan has vexed me for life. They can't win a game to save their life. They've got 3 wins all season. They've got 6 draws and 12 losses. They are a minus 15 goal difference, I'm pretty sure. That sucks. I hope they go down. If it were up to me, I'd want them to come last. I want Nainggolan relegated, to be honest. How funny would that be? And if you don't agree with me in thinking it's funny, well then you need to get a sense of humor, bruv. Because that guy went there to rot. And I loved copying it in a couple of chats. People calling me vindictive and that it's personal and shit. Maybe it is personal, but screw that guy. He can do exactly what he's good at, and that's milking the second half of his career. Ciro Immobile grabs another goal from open play, putting to bed all those skeptics who thought that, this guy was only scoring penalties last season. Forza Ciro. If we need informed strikers for the Azzurri, and as an Italian and an Azzurri fan, I always want to see my national team do well, especially since the disaster that was not qualifying for the World Cup. So if Ciro Immobile is in that much form, I know he hasn't usually stepped it up on the international stage as much, but I have a lot of faith that I think he's about to turn it around on his international career. So let us know in the comments below if you agree. Coasting on this last bit of energy for the day. Milan. So yeah, speaking of things that haven't changed, unbelievable. AC Milan are on top of the table after 21 match days, and I really thought that narrative would have been put to bed by now, but it seems to be closer to a recount than a narrative. 21 games played, 15 won, 4 drawn, 2 lost, goals scored 45 against 23, goal difference plus 22, 49 points, 2 points ahead of us, which is really good for us, because just looking at them and seeing that we're still within touching distance, I'm G'd for that derby, bro. If we don't win that derby, shit's hitting the fan, okay? Zlatan Ibrahimovic doing his best to piss all of us off, especially those who are still in a conflicting existential crisis of whether or not they're in love with the guy or they hate him, like myself. He was my favorite player at Inter when he was here. When he left, I never disliked him, ever, up until he re-signed for Milan. And now I just can't stand seeing his face. Let me know if you agree. I'm genuinely curious. Juventus 2, Roma 0. When Juventus play a big side in the league, they always come up tops, except for that one game 3 match days ago. Let me know who they versed. They've got it, bro. They've got it. And I know this has been a positive final word so far, but hey, realism is usually negative. Realism is usually pessimistic. Either you like comforting truths, or you've got the balls to stand in the queue of the uncomfortable. Either you like comfortable lies, comforting lies, or you've got the balls to stand in the queue for the uncomfortable truths. And the uncomfortable truth is that at 42 points with a game in hand, if anybody here is writing Juventus off for the Scudetto still, you're crazy. I would say you're crazy if you still don't think they're the favourites. If they win their game in hand against the Napoli side, who apparently wants to sack their coach, I can tell you right now, Juventus has the opposite mentality. They're going to go there and steamroll Napoli the same way they did when Gattuso sat back in the Supercoppa final. Facts, bro. Facts. Don't want to see it. Would have loved to have seen what a lot of the fans predicted. Oh, Juve's going to be fighting for a Champions League spot this season. Bro, please. Please. Don't make me laugh. 2-0 against Roma. Cristiano Ronaldo shows why he is still one of the greatest players of all time, because he collects the ball with his left foot and almost passes it into the bottom corner. It was awesome. I hated watching it, but it is facts. Anyway, let's move on. The truth of the matter is that they haven't won as many games as us. They've won 12 games. Inter have won 14 with the game in hand. And with our win against Fiorentina, we are still poised in a perfect position to make a run on the Scudetto. Whether I want to admit it as a pessimistic fan or not, what doesn't lie is the table that's been sitting right in front of me from the start of the video, and we are in a golden position to still take advantage from this. That being said, we have quite possibly the hardest game of the calendar because Lazio are the most informed side in the league, bar us. I think we are even. Let me just double check. I already closed. Let's go back. Nope, Lazio, form team of the competition. 5 wins on the bounce. Someone's going to have to bring them down to earth, and someone's going to have to repay them for the joke of a point they took off us in match day 3. And that pisses me off. That result still is probably the worst one for me this season. And you can say, oh, we lost to Milan, we've had some worse results. When we went up 1-0 to Lazio and they went down to 10 men, I was so confident we were going to win that game because, hey, it was match day 3. I was naive. We got our good results in the first 2 match days. But no, non è vero. We did not win that game, and that was the first sign to me this season that not much had progressed. Bit of an unfair statement, maybe. Maybe they can prove me wrong. Just something to note though, Lazio, their goal difference +9, 40 competition points, and really looking just to make the Champions League against their rivals Roma. So that should heat up and get interesting. Guys, let me know if you enjoyed this final word. Let me know your predictions for our game against Lazio. Let me know your prediction for our game against Juventus, which is coming up in 2 days. But the final word is strictly Serie A and Serie A only. So, Forza Inter Worldwide. Laters.